Trying to center off to Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored!
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries a play! Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan.
Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You guys know this. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, you can check out my IG. It's Michael.Caratinudo.5. Live there every day, too. And guess what? Yes, you know it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I know I tell you this every day, Pitchfork Lunchers. But subscribe to the channel. Again, any sound you miss, any interviews you miss, everything you miss. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, you can go back and catch up on interviews. And again, even from last season, there are a ton. So go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Caracino, but you can search the pages at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe. Because again, like I said, you will get all caught up on the interviews that you have missed, which again, you've missed a few. Just saying. And now the awesome part is you can listen live every day. So I want you to watch, but of course, if you're driving, I definitely don't want you to drive and watch, because you can check it out on the best internet radio station out there, KSRN. It's www.ksrnaz.com, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Casual E hooking me up, and very stoked again. Very stoked. The Cardinals got the win last night, and I know Casual E and the Bird Gang having a lot to say about that. Again, a defensive game, but nonetheless, they come out with the victory. But when you log on to the Casual Sports Radio Network, all you have to do is click listen live. For those of you watching, send it to your friends. Go all around Sun Devil Nation. And yes, we do go all around, as it is a busy time. Big 12 basketball, women's basketball media days starting today, and then men's is tomorrow. And yes, that is in Kansas City. So I saw Coach Natasha Adair up on stage earlier with Kennedy Basham, Jalen Brown, and Ty Skinner, who went out to the Big 12 media day. So women's today, and then I want to say men's tomorrow. But yes, that is going on now. So yes, like I said, very busy time. But those of you watching, again, tell your friends they can listen live. Just go to the Casual Sports Radio Network, www.ksrnaz.com. Page comes up, then click listen live, and then boom, they can minimize the screen. They're getting work done. They're getting caught up on, the greatest mascot out there in Sparky. And they can check it out. And again, like I said, when you go to KSRN, comprehensive coverage of, not just obviously this show, which is awesome, Pitchfork Lunch, more ASU, but Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Suns get started tomorrow night, Mercury as well, and now the Sun Devils. So again, check it all out. Casual E has it rocking over there as we go live, like I said, every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. So yes, do check that out. Last night is a Victory Tuesday. Forks up. Love it when it's a victory day. Victory Tuesday for volleyball. And you guys saw the clips coming in as they beat Grand Canyon. They swept Grand Canyon in 3 sets, but again, very competitive sets. The last one went 27-25. So we got a little, it was 27-25. I did write that down right. Because first set was 25-23. The Devils took it. The second set, Devils were trailing a little bit. But yeah, it was 25-23 and then 25-20. And yeah, third set was like, yeah, see, look at that. I still have chicken scratch to this day, but I can it was 27-25. And just again, overall, I mean, look, Grand Canyon was playing their defense, quite a few local kids, obviously. And we'll hear from Coach Van Neal, obviously saying this is good for Arizona volleyball, and obviously not just playing that team down south as a conference foe, but having Grand Canyon play each other. I mean, Grand Canyon came in at 13-6. They were 6-2 in the WAC. They came in at 13-6. ASU came in at 18-2. They're now 19-2. Hello, and 7-1. Although the early seed rankings came out, for obviously the top 16. Real quick, the top 16 in volleyball will host that first round. You have to be in the top 16. Well, ASU is just outside of that. And yeah, you can say, well, who they played early on might not be doing like they thought. But let's see. They swept TCU at TCU. Okay. And then they beat Utah. But yet Utah and TCU are both ahead of them. But again, it's half season. Coach, like he says, I can see him, he does obviously focus forward on like the next game. And again, you hear it from him, but it's not just coach speak, because yeah, I mean, you start getting too far down the road, and guess what? You start getting too far down the road and things get muddled and blurred and all that good stuff. So that we do know. So yeah. But that's out. But yeah, I mean, last night, again, Grand Canyon, I mean, you look at just the digs alone, ASU had 58. Grand Canyon had 52. You saw that one point coming in. Those listening, you heard the cheering and the point, but just the defense. And I'll show that again in a teeny bit, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, 58 digs for the Devils, 52 for Grand Canyon. Aces, 5-4 in favor of the Devils. And those came from Jillian Neal had 2, and Mary Stroll and Jelly Sear both had 1. And then there was one more. But Mary Schroll, 15 digs. Jelly Sear again, 12 digs, 12 kills, another double-double. Shania Cromartie came back, like I mentioned yesterday. And you heard Coach talk about they took her out of the Colorado game Friday again. A little bit banged up, said contact by her eye. But yeah, she played one hell of a match. Led the team with 13 kills. Like I said, Sear had 12. And Claire Jeter had 7. Ace-wise, did that. Blocks, Argentina Ung and Savannah Cohetti each had 3. Bailey Miller had 2. Assists, Argentina Ung with 33. Bryn Koval got 6 as well. And Mary Schroll, again, get a teeny bit out of system, but still is able to get the 5 assists on the very smooth and Old Faithful on the bump set, which, again, she does a great job getting it out to the pins and letting them wind up and take care of it. So, but she had 5 assists. But yeah, Argentina again with 33, and then Mary Schroll 15 digs, Sear with 12, and Bryn Koval had 11 as well. So, yeah, just playing defense, and yeah, the fast-paced offense. Of course, you can play fast-paced offense when that happens. But yes, that is absolutely awesome. So they moved to 19-2 overall, and then they are now 7-1. They're still 7-1. Sorry, because obviously that was not a Big 12 game. 7-1 in Big 12 play. And Thursday they head down south. We can start talking about it now as trying to get the Territorial Cup sweep. Beat Arizona in 4 up here, and then headed down to Tucson to take on that team down south. And that is a 6 p.m. game on Thursday. for the Devils. So yes, very, very excited about that. Football 5-2 kids, and they are on a bye. And again, I talked about this the other day. But this is ridiculous. The touchdown from Cam Scattaboo, and like I said, I don't know if they called him in Sacramento State, but I just coined him as the locomotive. You could say, you want to name it the Sun Devil Express, known as Cam Scattaboo, the Sun Devil Express locomotive, known as Cam Scattaboo. But I just go with the locomotive. Yes, it was a 24-14 loss. And again, you can go to KSRNAZ, www.ksrnaz.com. Got a recap of the game up there. But this run here by Cam Scattaboo kids is just absolute.
So first and goal, Scattaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met.
First and goal from the 1. He
throws a shoulder.
He gets met. Look, we'll see here. He's on the 9-yard line. He gets to the 5, gets pushed back to the 7, stiff arms those guys, and then just trucks the linebacker, lowers his shoulder, and sends him back into the end zone.
That is a valley run. That is a valley finish from
and yeah,
Scattaboo.
I mean, just absolutely trucked. I mean, a linebacker lowered his shoulder, and unfortunately, although the linebacker would come back. But yeah, I mean, for those listening again, one more time, met in the backfield right away. This guy shot right through, but yeah, other blocking was there, but yeah, lowers the boom, and that is that. That is a phenomenal run by Cam Scattaboo, and yeah. So 5-2 again, the 24-14 loss. And again, you can check out the recap article on ksrnaz.com. But, and you know, Coach, again, apologize. You heard it yesterday, and if we should get to more Coach today. But yeah, I mean, it's 5-2, and yeah, it was a little tough. I get that, because you know they don't, the first quarter, again, you score first, playing complimentary football, and again, we've talked about, I've heard you always hear coaches talk about it. Again, it becomes coach speak / cliche because they're true. I mean, when you can play very high complimentary football, yes, obviously the offense is going to score every time. You know, the defense is going to stop a team every time. But when you're that first, I mean, the first half of the first quarter, that was the ultimate complimentary football. ASU won, deferred, like Coach Dillingham prefers to do. Like Coach Dillingham prefers to do. And they get the ball, or Cincinnati gets the ball first, and literally goes 3 plays. In 3 plays, gains 2 yards. Punt, bam, ASU marches down 6 plays, 66 yards. Sims, again, in his first start, takes him down. Scatterbo with his first of 2. You just saw the second touchdown. Gets a touchdown. Offensive ball. The next series for Cincinnati. Moving the ball. Bam. Brendan Sorsby tries to go take a big shot down the right sideline, and Keith Abney comes up with a huge interception. So again, you give the ball right back to the offense. And, it was at the ASU 16. So inevitably, again, like a long punt, but you still, and I've said that for years. Yes, you can say it's a long punt, but you don't want to turn the ball over. Giving teams extra possessions, especially if they're, running the ball, chewing clock. They're precious commodity, right? So they do that, but then on the first play, the craziest thing happens. The craziest thing happens that we haven't seen. I don't even know if we saw it. It rarely happens, but Scatterbo got the handoff. Nice little hole, patient, gains is at a 6-yard gain, and boom, defender comes in and punches at the ball. But again, and you look at it, you're like, it's not like he was holding it out like a loaf of bread. Scatterbo fumbles, and Cincinnati recovers. So you're like, all right, 7-0. And 2 plays later, Sorsby, who threw the interception, makes up for it. If you watch the game, as he rolls to the right, darted in for a 14-yard touchdown run, makes it 7-7. But after that, Scatterbo was fine again, carrying the ball, had the 2 touchdowns. Yes, he did lose had the 1 fumble, but so after that, Cincinnati gets they add a field goal at the end of towards the end of the first quarter. So it's 10-7 after 1. You figure, all right, you started off fast, you moved the ball. You lose the ball, but you're down 10-7 and you're feeling all right. You look at the first quarter stats. ASU had 109 total yards to Cincinnati's 75. Cincinnati also had a fumble. They recovered. Could have had 2 turnovers, but ASU had the 1. Cincinnati had the interception. And you figure, okay. And then third down wise, I'll get to this in a minute because I talked a little bit about it yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit more in a teeny bit. Devils were 0 for 2 on third downs in the first quarter, and Cincinnati was 0 for 3. But yeah, so it's 10-7, 2:18 left, but the quarter finishes out. And it's 10-7, so you're feeling pretty good. That second quarter, though, is when Cincinnati again is able to get 2 more scores, and the Devils, get shut down on fourth down. But you love the calls, and Coach Dillingham, he talked about it post game presser, heard it, and then hear more about it a little bit. But you get off to a fast start like that, and yes, and then in the second half, well, the only 7-point score were by ASU. It was that Scatterbo powertrain touchdown that we saw. But the defense looked running wise because Cincinnati, I mean, they did rush for both teams rushed for 191 yards. To me, I mean, that's crazy. So you can say, well, Cincinnati rushed for 191. Well, so did ASU. Yeah, I mean, both teams at 191 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns for Cincy, 2 for ASU. 2 by Sorsby. Like I said, he had the 14-yarder, then a 1-yarder. And then Evan Pryor busted off a 55-yard touchdown run. And yeah, I mean, the defense has done a good job of stopping the run, but it was just Cincinnati. And I mean, Coach mentioned it yesterday. I heard him talking about obviously the great running backs in this conference. Actually, you didn't hear yesterday, but you will in this conference. So to me, that's you do stop. They're not good on third down, but they were very successful most of the first half on first and second down. So that's, that was a little bit, but again, defense did adjust, didn't give up any points in the second half. I know I did mention yesterday that, yes, they went for it on a 4th and 8, probably could have kicked a field goal, but wanted ASU to have to drive down. And again, the 2 missed field goals, we've talked about that. So they are 5-2. And they are rolling. So volleyball, football. Hey, women's golf, absolute forks up to women's golf as as they finished 5th at the Stanford Intercollegiate. And absolutely just rocking it. And they are now I want to say ranked 4th. Rankings came out nationally. And for Missy Farkay, I mean, what they've done so far. I mean, so they started off beginning of September 9th at the Annika Intercollegiate in Minnesota, where they were 10th after the first day, 6th after the second, and then charged to the finish 2 under on the third day, but they finished 4th. Then in the Mason Rudolph Championship in Tennessee, they were 8th the first 2 days, and then they finished tied for 5th. So charged there. They won the Windy City Collegiate in Wilmette, Illinois. Again, they were first after it was just 2 rounds, but or 2 days, I should say. Pardon me. They were +3, and then they were 8 over on the second day. But Windy City, got to think the winds were going. Everybody else struggled, so they finished first though at a +11. And then the Stanford Intercollegiate, like I mentioned, they started out 5th. They were tied for 4th, and then finished 5th. So, yeah. I mean, they shot 2 over in the first round last Friday, and then literally shot even par as a team on Saturday, stayed 2 over, and then they were 6 over on Sunday, but to finish 5th, and they're right there. And now they have the Nanea tournament coming up, which is in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. They played that last year, and that is it'll be next Monday. First day is next Monday, so they will be headed out there. But yeah, absolutely awesome what Coach has them doing. And also the they are ranked 4th. That's what I'm trying to get out. I think is Yeah, they're being recognized now. So they are it's their highest ranking since 2020. Sorry, that's what I was looking for in my notes. They are number 4 right now after, again, what they've put up and what they've done at the Stanford Collegiate. So forks up to Missy Farke, obviously just crushing it, and women's golf. So again, absolutely phenomenal. Love what they're doing. Hockey, we'll get to that in a little bit. Obviously, soccer, it is Territorial Cup battle week as conference foe. That conference foe from down south comes up here Friday night. Again, be absolutely awesome. They qualified for postseason, even though they fell to Kansas 2-1. So again, yes, you'd like to qualify and win, but other results, and they took care of stuff earlier. And yes, you want to end on a high note, and we definitely know Cam Valladares would love to. I'm sure it'll be interesting battle with her. Obviously, she transferred from Arizona, but we're gonna step aside real quick. When I get back, we are gonna talk. We're gonna hear from Coach Van Neal. And then we'll also hear from Argentina Ung again, who's just been phenomenal, and Mary Schroll after their win against Grand Canyon last night. So we'll step aside, and we shall have more Pitchfork Lunch coming up.
KSRN has the inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a...
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
And we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Curatino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. Hit me up there. Leave comments here on the show. You can see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, michael.curatino.5. And you know it, the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, and then it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe. Also, don't forget, you can listen live, like you heard it right there, on the best internet radio station, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Go to www.ksrnaz.com. Check the show out live there every day. If you're watching, yes, watch on the platforms. But again, you're driving around, no need not to be caught up on Sun Devil athletics and what's going on in the whirlwind of Sun Devil Nation. So forks up to that. But yeah, like I said before the break, let's get to it. As again, they are 19-2 now. Yeah, they're 19-2. Play that in a second. But yes, let's hear from Sun Devil head coach JJ Van Niel as he again talks about the victory, but the rivalry and what this game does. This matchup does for, you know, obviously what it means for the state, but, you know, like I said off the top of the show, Arizona rivalry. So anyway, without further ado, here is Coach Van Niel after last night's 3-0 sweep of the Lopes.
All right. Great crowd for Monday night, almost 3,000 people, which is pretty cool to see. I found out today it's the first time we played them in 31 years. So obviously a big draw. Got lots of fans out there, so a lot of energy. It was really fun. That they played really, really scrappy defense, put a lot of pressure on us, and happy that we kind of pulled everything out. So a little ugly, but we pulled it out.
Being as entertaining and going back and forth as it was, what do you feel a matchup like this that could be reoccurring in years in the future can do for volleyball in the state of Arizona?
I think it can be really a big deal, you know, because you've got a bunch of their fans local that want to come out, and you got a bunch of our fans local that want to come out, and you know, I was talking with them right before the match about it, and we want this to be recurring because I think it's good for volleyball in Arizona, it's good for the fan base, and yeah, I think it's fun to have a local team that you know you're going to play every year. You know.
At the end of the third set, when you had the two challenges, how did you guys stay kind of locked in and just standing around waiting for the calls? But how did you stay locked in to get ready to get back to play and end up winning the set?
The first one that they challenged, which was the net, we knew was a net, so I think we were all ready for it. We were mostly talking about what was next, and the other one I just felt like was maybe a timeout. You know, I think they did think it was out, but it was a touch, it was out, or it was in, and there was a net on them earlier. So we felt pretty confident we were going to win that. So we were just talking about what the plan was. You know, I think whenever you have those long delays, it's really trying to just focus on, hey, what's next? Just little reminders, and then that kind of keeps me a little focused.
Jelly, tonight, guy kind of hit on a hard swing, checked back over and kind of shooed you away a little bit. Talk about her toughness a little bit, go back out there and kind of took over the match a little bit in that second set.
Yeah, I mean, Jelly's a competitor, and yeah, she did not want to talk to me, so which is good. I mean, she's very competitive, which I love, and you know, she did some good things. I think you know, one of our issues tonight, I don't think we were as patient offensively as we needed to be, because they were really getting balls back over. So kudos to them. They put a ton of pressure on us with their defense. It was, you know, we thought balls were down, and all of a sudden, you know, some kids flying over there and grabbing with one hand. They had some amazing plays, and that put pressure. You know, I thought.
When you brought Ravello in, that made a difference, and then you got some stuff going from Savannah later in the match. Was it just kind of a case of looking around, trying to find some people that could help you, you know, sort of put this match away?
Yeah, I just kind of felt like we were just a little off, and I wouldn't say Bailey was doing anything wrong at that point. It was just, all right, let's go get some little wrinkle to see if we can get a small little change. And Rob came in and helped us get out of the rotation, got a big kill, I think a couple swings later, had some good block touches. So it was really just a little change, little wrinkle, see if it made a difference. So.
Arj again just kind of did it all tonight between a couple of big swings, how well she set up the offense. This is a team that saw her last season. It seemed like they still weren't able to kind of be as quick with her, a lot of one-on-one opportunities. How about that for Arj?
Yeah, I mean, Arj continues to be just a really solid all-around player. You know, she scores offensively, she defends well, and she blocks well. She's doing a nice job. So.
How much does she again open up this offense a little bit? 7 different players with a kill tonight, just allowing really any defense to not really have a chance of knowing what's coming.
Yeah, no, we talked about that actually at one point. It was not the case, and we talked about we were a little too left side heavy, and then we got back into more of the groove. I think once we started spreading it out, it opened it up, and she did a good job of kind of loosening things up.
To piggyback off that a little bit, like a match like this, when you get, you know, you said the offense may have not started slow, but maybe getting heavy on the left side, but when they're in a tight match like this, how do you feel just in general from the start of the season till now that your offense has grown?
Depends on the night. I didn't think our offense was necessarily great tonight. At times it was really good. I think Shania finished really strong, and she was hammering some balls there at the end. It's had to have been one of her best matches. So I think, you know, one of the issues, they were putting some service pressure on us. I didn't look at the end number, but I don't think we were passing as well as we normally do. So we're a little bit out of sorts there, which makes things harder. So we're kind of in medium bat centers a little more frequently. But we battled through it, which was good.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so were you surprised to see TCU and Utah ahead of you in the rankings? I know you said the other day it didn't matter that much at this point, but since you've beaten them both head to head.
Yeah, I mean, RPI is just a calculation that you can model. I mean, I have it modeled in a spreadsheet with like 15 years of data. So, you know, I wasn't necessarily surprised. TCU had a really strong preseason non-conference. And ours, to be honest, I think, you know, some of the teams that we played maybe haven't performed kind of the way that we thought they would. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, we're still, I don't know, we still got, I don't know how many matches left, 15 or 12 or 10, I don't know. We still got a third of the season at least, right? 40% maybe. So that stuff kind of works itself out, you know. But it is what it is. We'll see at the end. We got to get some matches.
Shania, going with her this year, what she's been able to do, and kind of worked as a DS a little bit last year, has really grown her role pretty much every single match this season. What can you talk about her growth this year?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've mentioned it a few times now. Like, she got a whole spring when she showed up. It was, you know, she hadn't played for months, and it was really hard right away to get in the groove. And Rob kind of beat her out early last season, and she didn't really get many shots. So her role was more of a DS. But this spring, she's, you know, I think I mentioned she's probably our best performer this spring in so many phases of the game, and she's continued. She's, you know, thrived. She's done a really nice job. And tonight was awesome.
Tonight it was.
Last question.
It was tightly contested for a lot of the sets, and you were losing for a lot of the third. How did you just mentally stay in the game?
You know, the team's been doing this the whole season. I think I don't even know if they pay attention to the score half the time. But it's a veteran team that's pretty composed. So even though that team was putting much pressure on us, they just were, what's next? Let's go. And we had a lot of different people come in at different times and get big serving runs, make big plays. Like Shini at the end, that was lights out. And that was huge for us because she got some really big kills at the end. And ours did good. The middles did a good job. Middles got up. She has one-on-one. She put the ball away. So, yeah.
And there he is, JJ Van Niel. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy because as a coach, again, it's one of those things where, yeah, we see the product and yeah, they're hustling, getting points. But, you know, like he said the other Friday, sometimes they'll be on the bench a little frustrated. But he the team he's battling, when he says something like that, like, you know, I really don't think they pay attention to the score. It's just the making adjustments from play to play, but how they're running their offense, what they're able to do, like absolute awesome. And if you haven't been out there, but like you said, I can't believe it's, I mean, look, I know when ASU's in the Pac-12, and again, if they wouldn't want to play him, but yeah, first time in 31 years that they played. That's just madness to me. Absolute madness to me. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's great for Arizona volleyball. And, you know, yes, obviously quite a few Arizona players. We're actually going to hear from one of them very shortly. But yeah, I mean, again, he's talking about, you know, again, he had to tweak his lineup. And I just mentioned we hadn't seen Roberta Abello a ton, but she came in, she got 3 kills, and it's just, again, maybe getting a little tweak. Like you said, not that a player did anything wrong, that you know, his fans doing anything wrong, but it just made sense. And like I said, that's having obviously the pulse of the team, but man, it like I said, awesome. It was very fun atmosphere, solid crowd, like Coach said. And now Thursday they have to go down to play that team down south. So love to get in and out of there, beating them again, but got to focus on it. And that's coming up. So, but yes, let's hear from, again, local kid, Mary Schroll, obviously from Tempe, transferred back, came back as a grad student. And yeah, defensively and everything what this defense does is paying off. So here is Argentina Ung, the just volleyball master. I mean, yes, as a setter, but again, attacking, digging, playing defense, that's awesome. But here is Argentina Ung and Mary Schroll.
Argentina and Mary for you all, and we'll just open it up for questions.
Arch, for you, a team that you saw a little bit last year, you talked with the rest of this group about kind of what they were going to see tonight?
I mean, I feel like because we are a different team, they're going to have a different strategy when they play us. So a lot of players were new for GCU. I only knew number 3. I mean, I knew there was their big player, their main player, that she was going to get a lot of balls we saw on film. But other than that, different team, new team, like for me as a new member of this team and just a new team as like GCU that it was last year. When asking them earlier today if they remembered you from going to that matchup yesterday, they said you're a hard player to forget, really, really hard player to forget. What do you feel that means for your style of play and what you've been able to build here? I mean, that's a compliment. Like, that means a lot, especially coming from other players, coming from other team. I don't know, I feel like this ASU volleyball team, everybody works hard. We have a lot of grit. I mean, when we play with a lot of grit, when we play with a lot of intention, no team in the nation can beat us, and that's something that we talk about in practice a lot. When we have a lot of grit, a lot of intentionality, when we just have a lot of passion, nobody can go pass by us.
Mary, when some of those points are going longer, obviously I know you want to get the point, but when both defenses are going back and forth, and tonight, I mean, you're getting more of those points. What does that do for the team? What does that mean to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a lot, just how digging balls put so much pressure on the other team. It puts pressure on them to score, and sometimes it can result in other teams like erroring because they just want to put the ball down. But again, like Arj was saying, we talk about that so much in our gym, like having that grit, having that gas on defense really just extends the rallies and puts pressure, and then it gives us the opportunity, like when it's there, as we keep digging balls, like finally see our opening, like that's when we put it away. So I think we're also a very patient team. That's something we talk about a lot. Like if your shot's not there, like put them on the floor, take out the setter. So I think defense, of course, always is going to help with that.
In that first set, a little more out of system than normal to try to get things back together. What was the conversation to get back to it in set 2?
Yeah, I mean, serve and pass is our bread and butter, and they were kind of hitting that one seam a lot tonight. I mean, it wasn't really much to say. It was just keep being patient, eyes on the ball, early, and I think we kind of knew that no matter what, we were kind of settle into it and get it going. I think this is an older team. We have a lot of composure. We talk about it. Like, if something doesn't go our way, we don't get frustrated. We don't get like super rowdy. We keep our composure. Just talk about it. Next play, next point. Learn from the play before and just keep going.
At the end of that third set, it was really back and forth. There was a couple of challenges there. How did you guys stay involved with every point and keep the rest of the team involved on every play?
Again, I think that touches on like our composure of like when we play our game, we can beat anyone, and we truly, truly believe that. Obviously, they were really scrappy tonight, so they were sending a lot back. But I think it's also that push when you're up 2-0. You really don't want to extend it to a fourth set. So I think there was also that push of like, okay, let's get this done. Let's keep being gritty. Let's keep digging balls and sending them back. I mean, you can see it in their faces. We have the same straight face when the set's 0-0 to when the set's 24-25. It talks a lot about this older team, the same thing that Mary says, composure. You're not gonna see us with a scary face if like we're losing. We keep the same straight face all the time, and I think that also frustrates other teams because they could be like, they're losing right now, why is nothing changing, why they're not like mad or anything like that. So that's
a big thing for us too.
You guys have talked about all season, JJ has too, how aggressive you guys want to be at the line. Just hearing across different coaches, opponents, it's consistent every single time. They feel like they have to be riskier against you guys to be able to serve so well. How much do you feel that shows off to your guys' ability that not only are you getting pressure on their defensive end, but you're also forcing pressure for them to serve better?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely says a lot. Serve and pass has been like our bread and butter the whole season, and the way that we push our tempo when we're in system, we're really hard to beat because Arj can put it anywhere. We have 3-4 hit like people available almost every time when we're in system. So I think, of course, teams like when they come against us, their number one thing is like we have to serve tough and get them out of system, and then there's the only chance. So I think it's just a huge testament to what we're doing and something that we will continue doing.
Shania tonight talked right after the game, didn't really talk about her performance, talked about how well you set her up, Arj, all night long, from the spring when you first got out here. What's your connection been like with Shania?
I mean, we, like Mary said, everything starts in the serve and pass. I wouldn't be able to run that tempo if I didn't have passers like Shania, Jelly, Mary, Jill. Like, they're all amazing passers. We wouldn't be able to run that offense without the passers that we have in the gym. I mean, especially with this fast tempo we run, communication is a big thing. We've been working in the spring. We knew it was not going to come up right away. It was frustrating when we just started, but I mean, it's just so fun to just be able to like have so many open spaces for our hitters when we are in system. The tempo is so fast that once we are like just like going and going and going, nobody can just stop it.
Did it bother you guys at all when you weren't in the top 16 announcement yesterday, and is that motivation for you?
Definitely motivation. Obviously, there's a bunch of factors that go into that. RPI, like we know our RPI is lower, but I mean, I think JJ knows what he's doing, and he's set up a schedule and strength of schedule that I think we all trust and believe in him. And honestly, like the rankings we don't really focus on a ton. A goal of ours is to host in the tournament, so being a top 16 is of course something that's very important, but again, it's a little over halfway of the season, so much can change. So I mean, yeah, it's motivation, but it's nothing, I think, out of the blue, nothing we're gonna do differently. Like I said, we have trust in JJ and our whole staff to set us up for success. But yeah, I mean, always trying to go for a top 16, but second half of the season to go.
Yeah, sorry.
There you go.
We're just gonna keep doing our job, keep beating teams. That'll just speak by itself, and we believe that the only ranking that matters is the one at the end of the season.
And there they are, Argentina and Mary Stroll. Mic drop for Argentina, because you're right, it's the one at the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, just look, 19-2, absolutely crushing it. Soccer qualified for postseason in Kansas City, the Big 12 tournament, which is in Kansas City, Missouri, obviously at the CPKC Stadium. But yeah, they got that team down south on Friday, so we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Hopefully have a guest from soccer, but we'll see. Got to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Again, at Diablo00 on X, Arswinio on Twitter, my IG, Michael.carrotsnudo.5. And the YouTube channel at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005. Subscribe to that. And www.ksrnaz.com. So those of you listening on KSRN, have a wonderful day. You know it. As always, forks up. And wrap it up here for everybody else. But yes, again, check it all out. Yeah, you got to, again, this is, we're going to get a bonus here. But yeah, so this is the last point from volleyball last night. And again, so yeah, you can say it's an overpass, but guess what? Trying to keep the ball going. Look at that over with a nice good. And crowd loving it. And again, that's just Again, that's just absolutely awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it is they are rolling. So, but yes, football on the bye, 5-2, soccer again, 8-6-3, headed to the postseason. Natasha Adair and the Lady Sun Devils hoops. Well, the men's hoops are there too, but Big 12 Media Days going on right now. Golf, absolutely rocking it. Missy Farkay and again, that team, Beth Cole, just rocking it, absolutely rocking it. So it's again a fun time. So yes, I'm gonna get out of here though. Everybody have a most phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. Hopefully they're a little they're flavorful and spicy. Got some spice to them and some flavor. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And come on, you guys know it. Hashtag our state. Thanks to Volleyball for that. But hashtag our state. And yes, you know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it. Wow.
Edwards pulls off.